Hi friends, this is Stitching to Connect Annie. I do not know what number this is of floss tube. I need to go back and count. I kind of lost count when I went through Vlogmas. Pardon me. Flossmas. I didn't do a vlog. Flossmas. And I need to go back and see what my original number was because, yeah, I'm not sure. So anyway, it is, what is the date? I think it's the 11th or 12th. I'm not sure. It's a Friday. I have actually been home from Steel City Stitchers. Yes, I made it. I'll tell that story in a minute. For a week. It was a week ago yesterday that it started, and so I've been home a week. And I just wanted to film this, catch up, share my experience of Steel City Stitchers, and show my stitching. In case I didn't say, I'm Annie with Stitching to Connect Annie. I've been doing this about 1.5 years now, and I thoroughly enjoy it. And it's a channel about cross stitching, a little bit of life thrown in along the edges, and let's get started. So, a week ago, yesterday, I winged my way to Pittsburgh. As you all know, there was a snowstorm, there was ice storms, there was all kinds of nonsense to get us there, and I made it, and it was thoroughly worth it. Yes, I had anxiety. The Sunday prior to the retreat, I booked my flight back in September, October, when we first got our reservation. I booked my flight with United, and I booked a nonstop because that's the way I like to travel. I like to travel with nonstop, on a nonstop. And so that's what I had done. And the Sunday prior to the retreat, United canceled my nonstop. And I knew the ice storm was coming. I knew we were going to be getting snow. And so I was like, oh my gosh. And I had an opportunity to cancel without, any fees or anything. But I really wanted to go. So I talked to my husband. He said, well, what are they offering you? And I said, they're offering it to go through Chicago. Okay, so I was a travel agent back in my former life. And I know you don't go through Chicago in February if you don't have to. And especially if there's a storm coming. All kinds of bad things happen in Chicago. So there was an option to route through Houston, and so that's what I did. So we got 8 inches of snow on Wednesday, the day before I was to leave. But it was supposed to be sunny and beautiful on Thursday morning. And so I thought, everything's a go, and it was. I got to Houston. I had a little bit of a tight connection. It was about a 40-minute connection, which means you get to the gate and you get in line to get on the plane. So that was a little tight. And then I got to Pittsburgh at about 3:45. I had formerly connected with some gals from Atlanta that she was going to rent a car, and so there were going to be 4 of us, 2 from Atlanta, 1 from Phoenix, and me, landing about the same time. And that was kind of like up in the air. I wasn't sure, what if that would still work out, and I was ready to Uber if it didn't. So met the gals from Atlanta. They were Cindy and Amy, and Katie came in from Phoenix with a little baby bump. She's pregnant. And we rented a car, and Cindy rented the car, and Cindy drove us, and we got to Pittsburgh with no fuss. We were in Pittsburgh to our retreat spot. No fuss, no muss before the ice, because there was ice coming and intense. all before 5-ish, 5:30 maybe we got there after we got our bags and everything. And yeah, so I got there. It was great. And what did we do? Did we do any? No, I was pretty tired, and so I went up to the room and unpacked, and the gals were gonna grab something to eat, and I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna order something, take it back up to my room, and crash out for the night. Because it'd been a long day. I got up at 4-ish that morning to get to the airport by, my flight left at 7:45 in the morning, so to get there by 5:45. So yeah, I was up by 4:30, so I was pretty wiped out. So got a good night's rest, beautiful hotel room. The retreat was held at Marriott North in Cranberry, I believe, Pennsylvania. A lovely retreat spot, lovely retreat hotel. But because of the weather, we were just in for the weekend, basically, which is fine. I was fine with that. I had kind of planned on doing a little sightseeing, but it was miserable, cold, and very icy. So yeah. So got up the next morning, the table went down. I thought I'd grab breakfast, and then I had texted the girls and I said, could you please save me a spot at the table in the morning, because I'd like to sit with you. And so I said, I'm going to get breakfast. And when I got down there, the check-in table was already open. So I went ahead and checked in and got my spot. And were the girls there already? I think so. And then I went to breakfast. I went and got breakfast, just had a small breakfast. And yeah, my day was off and running. And so the whole retreat was wonderful. The gals I met, I've met, hi, if you're watching. It was so great to meet all of you. We had 3 more ladies at our table. So I think the tables were set up for 10. So I think there were bigger tables than were at StitchCon. So we had a little more space, and there were, I think, 8 of us at the table. Is that right? 7 of us at the table, set up for 10. So we had some elbow room space, a little spread out air. You know, it was nice. We had lots of stitching rooms. Some of us, as we got, you know, going through the day, would like pull up a chair beside us, put our feet up, and there was still plenty of room. And the gals, the Steel City Stitcher gals, just made the weekend delightful. I know there was so many hiccups with travel. There were a lot of gals who were driving, and they just didn't drive. Like Pam and Steph didn't come from Ohio. It was too dangerous. It was just too dangerous. And then I think probably there were quite a few people that just decided not to fly. Didn't see a lot of West Coast people, so I don't know for sure if some of those flights got canceled. But it was an adventure. But it was great. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed myself. I'll show a little bit of my haul. I'll show a little bit of my stitching. Didn't get a lot of stitching done, but I got some done. And yeah, it was really a good time. So I'm here to share. First of all, we got this wonderful goodie bag, Steel City Stitcher bag, that had the finishing supplies. I thought I had grabbed everything. Oh, I did. Oh, shoot. And I just dumped it all in my other bag. They gave us a board to finish our piece on. I think I'm going to make mine into a pillow. I'm going to do a little dough bowl pillow with mine. And it was so apropos because of all the ice hanging off the bridges and the snow. And so it really made it for a fun, maybe that'll take as my picture. I don't know how to work that. So all the finishing supplies for that were included, which I just dumped into the bottom of this other bag I had. oh well. Anyway, we got a ribbon that has Steel City Stitcher on it, and we also got, I hope I didn't lose that on the way home. Oh, there it is. Cute. Yeah, this is cute. So when you finished that, then you they also added this little bridge, which is one of the bridges in Pittsburgh, the famous bridges. So cute finishing materials, and I will definitely incorporate that into my pillow when I make my pillow. So so that was fun, and they had a little table with glue guns and finishing, so you could finish it. So there's Erica, Aaron, Jody did a demonstration. I think it was mostly Jody. The other gals were doing it too, but Jody did a demonstration of how to finish it. And so I'd say most of the gals at my table finished theirs. And I just had in my head, I think I'm going to make a pillow, because I think I've mentioned we're kind of minimalists around here. We don't put a lot of things on walls or shelves, or it's just kind of the way our household is. And so I like to have pillows. I like to have little double pillows, and I do have a few flat folds here and there, but and I still might make it into a flat fold, not sure, but I wanted the option. I didn't want to have it set in stone or glue. So that was fun. And we also got a couple of patterns, which was nice in our goodie bag. One is really cute. Really thinking of doing that one up, either the little pillows or the something really fun with that. And that was from Wrought Iron Stitching, which I wasn't familiar with that at all, with them at all. So that was kind of cool. And then we got another really cool chart that I thought was fun. What that says in the middle. Put on my glasses to see that. I'm gonna take them off because I know the ring light is there. What's it say? Yinzer Lily. I have no idea what that is or what it means, or any idea what that phrase is. So I'll have to text somebody. Yinzer Liddy. Oh, city. Yinzer City. I don't know what Yinzer means. Yinzer is what's backstitched on that. I have no idea. Maybe it's a Philadelphia, not a Philadelphia. I'm sorry, a Pittsburgh thing. Keep wanting to say Philadelphia. So that was in our bag with, let's see, some snacks, a bottle of water, and a bag of potato chips, which I brought home to my husband, and he said, "Oh, I've had these on the West Coast or East Coast before. I think it's an East Coast thing." Anyway, he looked, and they're made in somewhere in Pennsylvania, so it's a Pennsylvania company, and a snack bar. So brought all that home because I didn't eat that. So that was what I think that was. Oh, and like a sheet that talked about our when we would be having our raffle, and our raffle tickets. So I think we got, I want to say 10 raffle tickets, and then along the back one of the back walls, they had tables that had all the raffle items, and then they had little bags, little gift bags, and you could go put your half of your raffle ticket in, and then they had drawings. I didn't win anything, which was fine. I put my tickets in, quite a few for the $100 gift certificate, but it was a lot of really nice items. Excuse me. I think it was a Dayglow lamp. There was a whole Black Needle Society retreat box, Black Needle Society box. I think it was Resolutions. It was the one with my, that I did end up getting, even though I'm not a subscriber as such, with the journal in it, and it was a very nice box. And that one had also the river, which is a tiny modernist chart, I think it is, which I stitched on. Do I know where it is? No, I don't know where it is. I don't know what I did with it. Anyway, I got quite a bit done on it. I did stitch on that my first day. Do I have my other? Oh, here it is. Knock everything over. That's the other thing I want to show you. Okay, so that was along the one wall, and so that was nice. And so we had, so during, mostly I think maybe we had one drawing on Friday, and then the rest of the drawings were on Saturday. So that was nice. So that, I think that was everything that was in our tote bag that we got. Oh, and then I got this, which I ordered. And I also got a pullover hoodie, which I love. It's a little lighter blue, has the kangaroo pocket in the front, a hood. Yeah, it's a hooded, and it has a big one of these on the front of it. It's really nice, and it's so soft. I don't know what it's made of, but I really like it. But it's in the wash because I wore it a lot during the retreat. Let's see. Wow, got on 16 minutes. So that's what was in our goodie bag. And then, like I said, we just stitched. We didn't have any classes per se. We just had that one demonstration. The other thing, I can't remember the name of it. A vendor had a pop-up shop, Stitchy U. I'm sorry, I'm not getting that right. Yeah, Stitchy U, I think it was. Anyway, she had a wonderful pop-up shop, and she had brought so many goodies, and I'll show you that in my haul. So if you, like, some of the gals, like, they had started something that they weren't, pardon me, I'm gonna take a drink. They weren't happy with the fabric they chose, and so they would just went over and shopped, which was really nice. And she had quite a few stitched up examples. She and her gals had closed their shop for the weekend, which probably, when you think about it, is probably a great weekend to have a pop-up shop at our retreat, because we shopped, and probably a lot of people maybe wouldn't have gotten out to shop at her store, her brick and mortar. So I think she came out well ahead that weekend, and they were delightful, very helpful, and some people had ordered things ahead, and then they brought them from the shop so they could pick up their bag. Some people just had a bag, and we just kept putting things in, and then checked out at the end of the time. I kind of shopped in it as I went, which is neither here nor there. So I'm gonna keep doing this thing with my bangs, because I got my hair cut this week and colored, which really needed to happen. I hadn't had it done since November. Yeah. And I'm doing a little change up. I've had straight bangs for like 3 years now, and I just wanted to start growing things out a little bit. So I didn't have her stacking in the back, and had her just trim it up, and then I'm starting this bang sweep kind of thing. So I'm still getting used to that. So when it hits my eyelashes, I go, and then but I'm a hair toucher anyway, and if you've watched me, you know that. When I'm sitting here looking at myself talking, I touch my hair a lot. I hope it's not totally annoying. So, let's see. So I mentioned I stitched on the river. And I got quite a bit down. I'm sorry, I don't know where it is. I would stop this and dig around and find it, but I'm not even sure where to dig yet, right now. I know I got home with it. I saw it when I got home, I'm pretty sure. Huh, that's crazy. It's got to be, oh, I know exactly where it is. I should have paused this. I apologize. I left everything over. Oh, I'm so unprofessional. This isn't working at all. What happened? Okay, this is take 3. I may have to go back and redo this whole thing. I've crashed several times. I'm going to see if I can edit it. Kind of really thrown me for a loop. I don't know why. I've never had this problem before. I keep knocking this whole thing over. Okay, deep breath. So, I got this, which I just reached and everything fell over. And the other one I got, the other nice one I got is, this is a 16 count. This is a Picture This Plus. It's an Ada. It's a fat half. And I could definitely use this for some of those. It's really nice. And it's called Wren. And I know a lot of stitchers use this for their, a lot of their pieces. This Wren color. It's a great neutral. And it's got fabulous modeling in it. So I did buy that too. And then for fun, because I saw it and I wanted it. And I like to stitch little holiday smalls and things like that. I got this really cute, this is a, I don't know what FF is, but it's Snow on Aqua, it's called, and it's 14 count. It's a fat quarter, and it's amazing. A lot of, or some of, Lindy Stitch's fabrics, and I don't know where that is, and I'll show it next haul. I did think of Lindy Stitches when I got this, because I can do some smalls. I can do some holiday kind of things on that, which will be fun, and it's 14 count. Okay. I've knocked everything over many times. The other thing I wanted to show you that I got before I left, I have a couple of things still, that I got before I left, and will I remember who this is by? No. And did she write it on here? No. Oh, yes, it is. It's That's So Kelly, her Etsy shop. And I think Michelle Bendy turned me on to these. I ordered 3 of these. It was like buy 2, get 1 free. And so I ordered 3 of these. And these are amazing. It's put out by That's So Kelly. I think she either has, I think she has a website. And maybe an Etsy shop. I'm not sure. But I got mine through the website. She sends these little round stickers too, so you can then label it, put your threads on here. This is for my project of this one. So it has some kind of balance. This is what I was working on, thinking for February and Valentine's Day, and that was my. I've showed this before. That was my project from StitchCon last year. I did this whole house castle situation. And then all I've done this year is the lettering and stuff. So I had taken this to work on, thinking, oh, it's a Valentine's Day project, completely forgetting I had something Valentine's with me. So I got 3 of these, and they're really nice, and they come with a, do I have it with me? Yes, I do. A needle minder that coordinates. And so that's fun. So yeah, I got a couple of those before I left. And then one of my other, and then I have a little more haul. I have quite a bit more haul to talk about. Yeah, here's my scissors aren't in the box, but these are my Ginger. They're 3.5 inch embroidery scissors that I got in the box that has the guarantee on the back. So I keep that in my sewing things and all of that. Then I got, if if you're a Michelle Bendy Stitcher watcher, she has just finished a whale by Owl Forest Embroidery. And I loved it. And I have been looking at this pattern or this kit for quite a while. And so I jumped and I got the cat. I think it's called a Bayun cat. These are all, they do all Russian folklore or fairy tales, as we call it in English. Anyway, lots of different fairy tales and lots of different things. And that's a cat. And the cat isn't too kind. I think it's kind of a bad cat. So it's kind of winking like I'm, but I love it. And the colors are fabulous. And so I got that kit. Oops, came all the way from Russia. Has a needle minder. Really cool needle minder with a landscape and a moon and really beautiful colors. And look at these thread colors. Yum. So I'm very excited about that. Don't know when I'll start it. Maybe in March. Maybe in March. Got my, the other thing I bought at the Crafty U is these really pretty, so when I was kitting up my Valentine's project, Amy, I said, Amy, do you have any floss drops, extra floss drops with you? I will purchase them or whatever. And she had some. So she gave them to me. So I kitted up my Valentine's little project, my Bell Hills project. And then I went over again and was shopping. Don't remember what I got this time, but anyway. And they had these beautiful floss drops. Really pretty. I think there's three different patterns on them. Beautiful, really good quality. And so I bought these and I gave Amy as many back as she gave me. So, and they're beautiful. So I got that. And then the only other haul I've gotten in the last 2 weeks is my Forbidden Fiber Co. Flosses, which I'll just show you real quick. I get 10 and then 2 one of kinds. So I got London Fog, beautiful purple, Julep, mint, like a mint julep. That's really pretty too. Incomparable. This is Incomparable. Pale Thistle. And I think I'm going to use some of these. I did get in on the Narnia Stitching Book Club Stitch Along. I did get in on that. And I think I'm going to substitute some of the colors in that with these, because I think there's a lot of really cool colors that would work. Spice. So I've been trying to substitute my fancy flosses a lot since I'm getting them. I use them. Amber. And I like Forbidden Fibers flosses. They're wonderful to stitch with. Aquarium. Get very warm. What is this? Grease. It's a gray. As you would think grease would be. Browns. Lots of browns. This reminds me a lot of the colors that I used in this. Some of the colors I used in this. Iridescent. It's purples and pinks. Really pretty. Foxglove. And Unrequited. It's a green. So, lots of great colors. I really like my Forbidden Fiber monthly flosses. They're amazing. So that's fun. What else? Oh. So I woke up the other day and I went, do I want to go to Black Needle Society retreat? And I was kind of like, yeah, I really do. And like I said, I'm not a subscriber. I was a subscriber and I didn't push the right button or something, and then I got knocked off the subscription list. And so it's fine. It's fine. I have no problem with it. And I can get things I want out of their vault fairly often. Not that you shouldn't be. You should subscribe if you want to. They're great. They're absolutely great. Their boxes are amazing. But I've gotten along. So the first sign-in day, they had just for the subscribers, and I thought, and I don't know how many spots they have. I don't know. They're doing it in August. It's in Independence, Missouri, so it's not clear across the country, and it's a 3-day. I think we get there. I think they open it on. I think it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm pretty sure. So I knew that was happening, and I knew that they then said the day after all the subscribers had a chance to sign up, they would open it to everybody. And I woke up at like 5 to 10 their time, which is 5 to 9 my time, I think. I don't think they're on Mountain Time. And I went, I'm just going to roll the dice. And I got a spot. I'm so excited. So I'm going to StitchCon in June, and then Black Needle Societies, I think they're calling it a camp. I'm not sure what they're calling it. I can't remember. Their camp in August, first weekend of August. I'm very excited. Yeah, more stitchy goodness, more stitchy friends, more. And it's all good because my summer is pretty open. The only thing we have scheduled for summer is that June weekend at StitchCon, and then my grandson's coming for a week during the summer, and I'm not sure exactly when. He was going to come that weekend that I was going to StitchCon, and I went, oh no, that won't work. So it's going to be sometime. He is 15. It's probably one of the last summers that he'll get to come. And we had a fabulous time with him the week he came this summer. So he's coming. And I'll probably try to plan a trip to see my sister in California. And that'll be good. So, yeah. Crazy me. So I'm pretty excited about that. And then my husband, for a surprise Valentine's. And he's so funny because he gets things and then he can never hold on to me. He can never surprise me. And it's ending up, he's got to travel over Valentine's Day anyway. He got me this Diamond Dot Midnight Cat, which looks just like our girl. That's what it looks like when it's done. And it's a small one. It's just, none of the background is diamond dotted. So it's just her sitting with her paw over. And she looks just like Sierra, our black cat. So one final life thing, which is crazy, but I have to share it, is when I was at Steel City Stitchers Retreat this last week. I was talking to my husband on the phone. We have a 2-story townhome. He was downstairs in the kitchen, and then we have kind of an open plan upstairs where there's a balcony that looks over the living room. We have really high ceilings in the living room. And he was cooking in the kitchen when we were on the phone. He said, let me put this down and put you on speakerphone so we can still talk while I'm cooking. And in a little bit, he said, oh, guess who's around the corner? And Sierra had come around the corner upstairs, looked down into the kitchen. When she heard my voice, she started meowing. I had probably a 2-minute conversation with my cat. I know that's weird. But it was so delightful. So he brought the phone up to her, showed her my face, and we meowed at each other for 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. We just meowed at each other. It was precious. And I left my phone somewhere. I don't know where. Anyway, so that was big fun. Big fun. Yeah, so that's all I have to share today. I'm going to try and splice this together again You're going to see some crashes in between, and hopefully it'll all shake out and work out. I don't know. But I may just have to redo this. But I hope that you're all doing well, healthy well. It's supposed to get some more snow today. And yeah, this is Stitching to Connect Annie signing off. Bye for now. Hi everyone, this is Stitching to Connect Annie again. Oh crap. Okay, I'm going to try and edit this. Or it may have to be two. I'm not sure. My whole thing fell when I remembered where I put something and I reached for it and it all went tumbling down because I wanted to show you how much I'd done on the river. So that's how much I've done on the river. That's the piece that I stitched on Saturday. So take a deep breath. I'm not as great at this as I'd like to be after doing it a year and a half. I have to get a better setup for I'm in a very precarious position. If the cat runs by or I reach wrong or I move wrong, everything comes tumbling down. It's very frustrating. So, smile on my face, showed you the river. So, not sure what I was talking about. Anyway, that is what I stitched on did I say Saturday? I meant Friday. Friday was the first day of stitching, and here comes my cat. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. I'm going to try to edit that crashing piece down, but I'm not sure if I can or not. So, back to the pop-up shop. So, people were kind of buying little things to start, or they had brought things to start as a fresh start, as a memorabilia kind of piece at the retreat. And I hadn't really done that. I brought some things that I was working on, but it didn't really bring a fresh start. And so a couple of gals had bought little kits over on the pop-up shop. And I got this, buttons and beads. It's not too glary. Since it's Valentine's. And I thought it'd be fun. It's got some great colors. And I've done that much. So I'm at the bottom here. I've done the pink, quite a few of the pink flowers, just basically got it started. But it also worked well because I was able to not be quite so, it's 14 count on, I think it's 14 count. 14 count on perforated paper, and it's a light pink. It's very pretty, and I'm very excited to do it. And I got the beads, and this little bead came with it, which is super cute. So I got that. So I'm working on that, and I will continue to work on that. And I like Mill Hill kits because easy to pick up. If I don't have a magnifying situation going on as easily as I could, even though I did take my magnifier with me. Then I can do it without that. I can just do it with my glasses or my readers. And it's an easy pickup. So I like having one of those gone. And the only other, and I have some Mill Hill Christmas things going on, and I have a Mill Hill Halloween project going on, but I didn't have a Valentine's, and I didn't have anything Valentine's to stitch, so I thought that would be fun. So I did do that. So I picked that up. What else? So I worked on that on Saturday. I was having trouble with my back, and we're sitting in straight chairs, so having gone to StitchCon, I knew that could be an issue. So I went and got a big pillow from my bedroom, from my room. I brought it down and I propped it behind my back in the chair, and that helped a lot. But it got really bad on Saturday, so I had to cut my day a little short, go up, take a hot shower, take a nap. Actually, I did that on Friday too. It was getting bad, but it was just, I don't know. I think I'm going to have to start getting massages or something, like during my trips, because when I get there, after having traveled, this is all probably TMI, but some people probably have the same issues. After I travel, my back really hurts. And I think it's muscle related because it was like high up, and it got so, it spasms, and it was spasming so much, it got so tight, it hurt to touch my skin. And so that's the other thing. I was like, I don't know if I could have a massage when it hurts that much. So I'm going to have to figure out something. So if any of you all have that issue as we get older, things start aching and stuff, and during travel, you're in positions that you normally aren't in, hit me up, let me know, send me a text, whatever, and let me know what your suggestions are. I was, throwing 3 extra strength Tylenols down my throat every 3 to 4 hours. And that took the edge of it off. That helped quite a bit. So I don't know if I need to maybe ask my doctor, when I go to my doctor, if I could get like a prescription for maybe a muscle relaxant for when I travel. I think that would be a normal thing to ask for, but with prescriptions and painkillers and all of that, I don't need a lot. I just need something a muscle relaxant, basically. Because once I lay down and I'm fine after I maybe take a hot shower and I lay down, or I should have brought a heating pad. I wish I had done that. If I had brought a heating pad, that's something that's going in my StitchCon luggage or any retreat luggage I could pack in the future. I think that would help a lot. So, health public announcement on that. So anyway, those are those are the only 2 pieces I stitched on. I took several more. Did I take with me? I don't know, because I didn't stitch on them, so it doesn't really matter. Let me look at my little sheet that we did. We did raffle drawings, stitching, just stitching. Crafty You. That's what it was called, not Stitching You. It was called Crafty You. She has a website. If you like to support, here's the other thing that came with our I just looked at my lap and this rickrack was down there. That came with our finishing stuff for I'll put that on my pillow too somehow. That would be cute around the edge of the pillow. Crafty You. So if you like supporting smaller businesses or, I don't know how small her stitching shop may be huge. Pardon me. Great gal. You can order online. I'm sure it's kind of like keepsakes, and I'm sure they'll ship and all that good stuff. And I like 1, 2, 3 stitch, and I do use them quite a bit, especially when I'm kitting up things and I want it in the next. Usually I turnaround's pretty quick. I can usually get pretty quick turnaround. So yeah, so Crafty You. Look them up online. I'm glad I found that paper. Okay. So I don't think 2 things I stitched on. Chatted a lot. Gal I sat right next to me, Amy. She and I became fast friends. I've definitely made a new lifelong friend, and I enjoyed everybody else at the table too, but especially Amy and I really connected, and that was so fun. So such great people. It was fun to just walk around all the tables and see what everybody was stitching, and they're always willing to like show you all their projects or their crafting tools or whatever they're doing. They're willing to stop and chat with you, and it was just, there's not a stranger among a stitching group. There just isn't. You're just instantly friends. It's wonderful. I've never been in a community that, well, that's not totally true, but walking into a place, not having met anybody, seeing them on floss tubes and Facebook and Zoom calls and stuff like that. You feel like you know some people. And I definitely recognized some faces. And I didn't go up to everybody that I recognized, but it's just really refreshing to have that kind of a camaraderie, if you will, of heartness. That's all I'll say, because it was wonderful. So let's see. I'll talk about the rest of the haul I got. So like I said, she had a lot of things. I was pretty disciplined. I did pretty well. Oh, another cute thing. I think his name was Victor. I didn't get all the skinny on it, but he made all of this. These are, first of all, this is Krynic or some kind of shiny floss, and it's teeny tiny, so it's got to be over one. He made one of these for all of us, and then there were extras, so I got two because I want to mount these. I might, like, I don't know, mount this in the corner of the pillow or have it near the pillow, or I don't know what I want to do with these, but they're so cute. Maybe stitch up one of those other patterns and put it on the corner of one of those patterns. Anyway, he made all these. He made these for everybody. He must have made 160 of these. There weren't that many of us, but there were a lot of these, and so I got two of those. So somebody did a lot of selfless stitching in that regard. I don't know what this is. It came with the finishing stuff. Not sure. Okay. Oh, and this little pattern came too, with a promo on it to use for frosted pumpkin. I think there's one or two patterns that I really like of frosted pumpkin that I might maybe order these. It has a little pattern on the back. It's a pumpkin with a little bird sitting on it. I won't show it to you. There. So, yeah, cute. That was everything I think I got in my bag. So, back to my haul. And why am I not finding? Okay. So I did break down. I got A Year in the Woods. I got the first 3 patterns of A Year in the Woods. I've been watching people stitch these. Glare is always not good on this situation. The fox. I'm not going to pull them out of the plastic. The fox. The swans, which is Valentine-ish, which I definitely would like to stitch and put out for Valentine's Day next year. Plans. Look at the when I first saw the Jackrabbit, I was like, I can't get past those ears. Those ears are crazy. And then I looked more and more at him, and he's just precious. How could you not love that Jackrabbit? And the colors in that, and the stitching in it, the choices, fabulous. So these are done by Cottage Garden, and I didn't have any Cottage Garden charts in my possession. So yeah, I broke down and got those. I don't think she even had these as examples stitched up, but I know how beautiful they are. So I did that. And then I have not done my Yule Queen, which is a primitive hair piece, but I have seen these. I got this fabric, which is primitive hair fabric, to do this on. And Amy and I are going to do this together. I got a text her and say, Amy, have you gotten your pattern yet? When do we start? Black cat. Super cool. My husband just came home. I don't even know what time it is. Anyway, so I got that, and I'm very excited about that, and that will be my first foray into 30 count. It's a 30 count dark spell linen. I've never stitched on anything 30 count. Is it over 1? I don't know. I'll have to talk to Amy about it. Well, we'll cheer each other on. But it's fabulous. I'm very excited about that. There's something on this. I don't know what it is. Anyway, yeah. I'm going down that rabbit hole. But I did buy the Yule Queen, which is a primitive. And I'm not going to do it on a really tiny fabric, but yeah, I had to. I just think her fabulous. It's called Dark Spell. Her fabric. 30 count linen. It's going to be an adventure. So I'm excited about that. Is that all the that's all the patterns I got, and then I got some fabric, which, oh, and the other nice thing I got, and I don't know where that is. I don't know where those are. They must be in my bag. I got a pair of Ginger scissors. I love my Ginger sewing scissors. I've had them for 40 years. So yes, Ginger scissors are, it's Gingher. I've always said Ginger. I don't know how you pronounce it. I've had mine for that long, and yes, they are expensive to buy, but I bought a pair of embroidery scissors, of Ginger embroidery scissors. They had in a box, and they are fabulous scissors, and they're guaranteed for life. I've never had a whit of problem with mine. I love them, and when you think about how many years I've had them and how many years I'll have these till I pass on, I can pass them on to my kids and grandkids and great grandkids, probably. They're worth it. So I bought that, and then I got an 18 count Aida. I wanted some. I got a couple of neutrals and then a fun piece. I wanted, well, counting the linen, I got 2 fun pieces. I wanted some neutrals, and this is an 18 count nougat stone gray. It's just a fat quarter. So it's just a very neutral. And I might even put one of these guys on it, although those are blues and greens. I don't know. I might put one of these guys on it. Oh my gosh. Not again.